It's time now for the Kansas City Royals and the Los Angeles Angels. And to get things started, here's a person who is indeed the very definition of baseball royalty.
Hola, I'm Albert Pujols of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Welcome to the 17th season of Fox. Saturday Baseball. Disfruta el juego. Enjoy the game.
Winter headlines became springtime reality last night as Albert Pujols made his Angels debut, and the fans in Southern California could not be more excited for a new era of Angels baseball. We welcome you to the MLB on Fox, presented by Chevrolet. It's the second of a three-game weekend series between the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim and the Kansas City Royals. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Kenny Albert. Welcome to season 17, as Albert Pujols mentioned a moment ago, of Fox Saturday Baseball. Angels won the season opener last night 5-0. They scored 5 runs in the 8th inning. As I welcome in my partner today, Royals Hall of Famer Mark Ubiza. Mark, you worked the game last night. A special night here in Anaheim as Albert Pujols made his Angels debut.
Yeah, Kenny, I'll tell you, it was almost like being in a World Series game. The electricity coming in the ballpark, the anticipation of what Albert Pujols may do during that game made it unbelievable last night.
Second of the series today, as the Royals, who have not been to the postseason in over a quarter of a century, and you were a big part of that back in '85. Kansas City with the youngest average age in all of baseball, but they have some good young players with high hopes.
Cornerstones at third base and first base, guys with a lot of power. Mike Moustakas, who's at third base, can drive the ball on the inner half of the plate as well as anybody in baseball. Strong arm from third base also. Eric Hosmer, a sweet swing like a Chipper Jones, a guy who can hit the ball to all fields. Very good glove there also at first base. So good defense and power for those two positions.
Well, the Royals look to bounce back today following their 5-0 defeat last night. Good pitching matchup. Dan Herron for the Angels and Luke Hochevar for the Royals. It's Fox Saturday Baseball. First pitch is coming up next.
Bottom of the ninth.
2 outs.
2 outs, full count.
Longoria steps to the plate.
Victorino.
Bautista
Steps up to the plate.
The crowd is on their feet. Here comes the pitch. He swings. That ball's deep. Going.
And the outfielder gets under it. Perfect game.
Back in Anaheim, moments away from the Angels and the Royals on an 81-degree picture-perfect afternoon. Today's starting lineup for the Royals, brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. The left fielder Alex Gordon will lead off, followed by center fielder Lorenzo Cain. The first baseman Eric Hosmer bats third. DH Billy Butler in the cleanup spot. Then right fielder Jeff Francoeur. Second baseman Yuniesky Betancourt. The third baseman Mike Moustakas will hit seventh, and catcher Humberto Quintero. And the shortstop Alcides Escobar will bat ninth as the Royals get set to face the 31-year-old right-hander Dan Herron.
Boy, Dan Herron had a fantastic season last year. 16-game winner, career high as far as innings pitched, 238 in the third. But the thing you want to look at, 34 starts last year, only 33 walks. 192 punch-outs, so he's around the strike zone with devastating stuff. Very good fastball, cut fastball, curveball, and a swing-and-miss split-finger fastball.
Herron 4-1 lifetime against the Royals with an earned run average of under 2. Getting set to make his season debut. The opening pitch is brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. So we are set to go here in Anaheim. The Kansas City Royals, record of 71-91 last season, finished in 4th place in the American League Central. Their last winning season, 2003. But as we alluded to in the open, Mark, as Alex Gordon steps in, some high expectations in Kansas City.
Well, they have a good core of young players, guys that can put the ball in play. Not a ton of power as far as their everyday lineup, but contact hitters with a lot of speed.
First pitch to Gordon, missing away. Ball 1. Bob Davidson behind the plate today. Hunter Wendelstedt at first base. Dan Bellino is at second, and Jerry Lane is the third base umpire. Up the middle, backhanded by Kendrick over to Pujols for out number one.
Well, that's the one thing about the Angels, Kenny, lately, they've been their defense, and especially to the backhand. Howie Kendrick, very effective. Has worked with Alfredo Griffin, Bobby Grits to improve his defense at second base.
So Alex Gordon is retired. One away. Here's the center fielder Lorenzo Cain, who was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts in last night's game. Played in 6 games for the Royals last season after coming over from Milwaukee. Fastball missing low and away, ball 1.
Well, the Angels did a great job with the top 4 in the Royals lineup yesterday. 0 for 16.
Now 1-1 on Cain. Last night's starter Jared Weaver picking up where he left off last season.
Well, yeah, great stuff. He started out establishing his fastball and then going to his secondary pitches were so effective.
Bloop base hit into right field off the bat of Cain, so the Royals with a 1-out base runner. Defensively for the Angels this afternoon, brought to you by Scott's. In the outfield, Bobby Abreu getting the start in left today. Vernon Wells in center, Torrey Hunter in right. Morales is the DH, so Pujols at first, Kendrick at second, Ibar at short, and Callaspo starting at third today with Bobby Wilson behind the plate.
Callaspo does a nice job as far as coming in on the baseball, strong arm. Mark Trumbo played last night. Callaspo is going to get some time at third base.
Eric Hosmer 0 for 4 last night. He struck out twice. Coming off a terrific rookie season. You see his numbers in 128 games. 293 average. 19 home runs. He drove in 78 runs. Cain back in at first.
Yeah, we were talking to Ned Yost before the game, the manager for the Royals, about their aggressive nature as far as stealing bases. 153 stolen bases last year, which was second in the American League. So they will test going against Dan Herron, who struggled a little bit as far as slowing down the running game last year.
Time called by the home plate umpire Bob Davidson. 1 out. Cain the runner on first. Hosmer at the plate. Top of the first inning here in Anaheim. One and one.
Lorenzo Cain with good speed over at first base also. Base stealers were successful 21 of 26 times against Dan Herron last year. Does do a good job as far as holding the baseball, which is the best way to slow down a running game.
Cain takes his lead off first, and Hosmer with a base hit up the middle into center field. Cain holds at second, so back-to-back singles. Royals threatening here in the first inning with first and second, only 1 out.
A little bit better swings early in the game. Again, it comes down to a lot of day games in spring training. They're just second game of the season. Night game last night, didn't see the ball real well, but you can see during the day, much better opportunity to swing the bat and right back up the middle over Dan Herron's head. Again, Hosmer, very sweet swing he has.
Royals had only 4 hits in last night's game. As you mentioned, the top 4 in the order, a combined 0 for 16. 2 for 3 so far today. So here's the designated hitter, Billy Butler. And he takes a called strike. Butler 0 for 4 last night. Tremendous spring training. He was second in the American League with a .414 batting average.
Tremendous power the other way. Likes to get the fastball or breaking pitch on the outer half and hit it to right center field. Though if you can get the ball down and get a ground ball, excellent opportunity for a double play.
Third consecutive base hit as Butler singles to left. And the Royals have loaded the bases against Dan Herron here in the first inning.
A little more successful game plan for Kevin Seitzer, the hitting coach for the Royals today, as far as attacking Dan Herron. That pitch up in the strike zone. Billy Butler's one of the best hitters that not many people really know a whole lot about. Consistent line drive hitter.
Royals using the entire field. Base hits to right, center, and then left. Off Herron. So the bases are loaded for Jeff Francoeur, who is playing in his 1,000th Major League game this afternoon.
Boy, he likes to swing at that first pitch fastball.
First pitch low and away, ball one to Francoeur with the bases loaded, only one out. Francoeur just 1 for 13 lifetime against Dan Herron. 1-0, low, ball two.
And then when you go through pitchers meetings to go over to the hitters on the opponent, that's what you look for. Dan Herron obviously knows that about Francoeur. He's had success against him. In his mind, he thinks, okay, I got to throw breaking pitches because he's very aggressive on the fastball early in the count. But now he's forced into a fastball count, 2-0 with the bases loaded.
2-0 from Herron, now 2-1.
A veteran out there threw a cut fastball. Knew he had to come in there with a pitch that was close enough to get Francoeur, who's in an RBI situation, to chase.
Francoeur in his 8th season, he's driven in 100 runs twice, both while a member of his hometown Atlanta Braves. Bloop into center field and it drops in. Kane scores. Here comes Hosmer. The Kansas City Royals with 4 consecutive base hits here in the first inning. They take a 2-0 lead.
And this trying to put the ball in play, not trying to do too much. Simplify the approach at the plate. Try to pull that ball, you're going to make it out with it. Just stay with it, even though he didn't hit it right on the good part of the bat. He was able to flare it in because it was an elevated cut fastball. And stayed with it. Tried to pull a couple of those pitches last night against Jared Weaver, hit routine ground ball outs.
So Francoeur with the 4th consecutive single off Herron. 2-0 Kansas City. First and second, still only 1 out for Yuniesky Betancourt, who is a .417 lifetime hitter, 10 for 24 against Dan Herron. Butler takes his lead off second. Francoeur off first. Called strike, now 1-1.
Boy, Betancourt's a guy that prefers pitches on the inner half, whether it's a breaking pitch or a fastball. Very quick with his hands through that pitch on the inner half.
Two and one on Betancourt. The Royals with as many hits now in this first inning mark as they had in the entire ball game last night.
Well, when you're a hitter for the Royals, you know that Dan Herron, we showed that stat, only 33 walks in 34 starts last year. He's going to be around the plate. So you got to, your approach has to be, I'm going to try to go up the middle the other way, and they've had success doing so. Right there, he's going with the split finger fastball grip. He starts with that. That way, when you go into your glove, you don't tip your pitch to a hitter.
Betancourt strikes out. Now 2 away for Mike Moustakas. Moustakas, another one of those young players you talked about in the open. 2nd overall draft pick back in 2007. Behind David Price. Grew up here in Southern California. In fact, he was named Mr. Baseball in California back in 2007.
Yeah, I got to see him a number of times. I coached a high school baseball team against him, and it was no fun back then either. And he's a super quick with his bat, especially fastball in. He's got to learn to be able to be more disciplined on all speed pitches.
Rips one foul back behind first. 0-2. Moustakas played in 89 games for the Royals last season after his call up from Omaha. In fact, he made his major league debut in this stadium last June 10th and hit his first career home run the next night. Fastball missing inside, 1-2.
Yeah, a lot of family members came down to the game as he has in this series so far.
Royals with 2 runs on 4 hits. They've sent 7 men to the plate. This will be pitch number 24 in the first inning coming up from Dan Herron.
Again, throwing some strikes, but the reality is a little bit quick on his tempo. Your first start out after being in that monotonous, long spring training atmosphere, looks like he's a little bit out of sync early.
Herron terrific during spring training. 3-0 in 6 starts. Retired 21 straight batters at one point. 25 strikeouts, only 2 walks. But he allowed 4 consecutive base hits here in the first inning. Jeff Francoeur drove in a pair of runs for the Royals, who were shut out in the season opener last night.
Well, he hit that foul ball out of the stadium.
Aiming for Chatsworth.
I think so. Just in case a couple of family members were late getting here, he's going to give him a souvenir coming into the ballpark.
Fastball called, strike 3. So back-to-back strikeouts for Herron. Royals take a 2-0 lead. Albert Pujols will bat third for the Angels when we return. Royals score 2 in the top of the first. The Angels batting order brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. Mike Scioscia now in his 13th season. Eric Ibar will lead off, followed by second baseman Howie Kendrick. Albert Pujols hits third. Kendricks Morales in the cleanup spot. Then Torrey Hunter, the right fielder. Left fielder Bobby Abreu. Bottom of the order, Vernon Wells, Alberto Callaspo, and the catcher Bobby Wilson as the Angels get set to face 28-year-old right-hander Luke Hochevar.
Hochevar's got good stuff. Fastball 87 to 92 range, a good swing and miss curveball, slider, changeup, and a cut fastball to mix in against left-handed batters.
He has never beaten the Angels. 0-3 in 4 starts with an earned run average over 8.
A lot of times leaving fastballs up, and when he stays downstairs around knee level with that sink action and slider, very difficult to hit.
Eric Ibar leads off, takes strike 1. Ibar, the 3-run triple in the 8th inning last night. Angels scored 5 in the 8th to break open a scoreless game.
Well, both pitchers did an outstanding job starting that game last night. Weaver and Bruce Chen did a great job for the Royals.
Jared Weaver allowed 4 hits in 8 innings, struck out 10. Bruce Chen 6 shutout innings, allowed only 3 hits with 4 strikeouts. There's Chen, made his first career opening day start. Manager Ned Yost was very pleased. Ibar fouls one off down the right field line. 1-2.
He had a big thing with Bruce Chen. He did a great job as far as getting ahead. That's the importance for Luke Hochevar, to get ahead of the count. He does have a great curveball, but the reality is he has to be aggressive. Did a nice job after the All-Star break last year, but early on, a lot of base on balls, and that hurt him.
Career record of 30 and 43. 1-2 to Ibar. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hochevar was the first overall pick in the first round back in 2006 out of the University of Tennessee. Now in his 6th big league season with the Royals.
Likes pitching in day games. 11-3 in his career as compared to 6-14 in night games.
So he's happy today.
Yes, especially when you get 2 runs in the first.
Do you enjoy pitching during the day or at night better?
Well, I always felt as a pitcher you have an advantage at night. They might not be able to pick up the seams better at night. Baseball certainly carries better during the day, and you'll see this in this ballpark here. It's a little bit different yard. There was a couple balls hit last night by both sides that have a chance of getting out during the day.
Another foul. Count remains 2-2 on Eric Ibar. How important is the top of the order, Ibar and Kendrick, leading up to Albert Pujols? Mike Scioscia said earlier today in his meeting with the media, Ibar and Kendrick did such a terrific job during spring training setting the table, and if they continue to do that, it could be another huge year for Pujols.
Well, what it does, it forces the pitcher to throw more strikes to Albert.
On the ground to the right side, Hosmer to the bag himself. for out number 1, a 7-pitch at bat for Eric Ibar. Defensively for the Royals, Gold Glove Award winner Alex Gordon in left, Kane in center, Francoeur in right. Around the infield, Hosmer, Betancourt, Escobar, and Moustakas, with Quintero behind the plate.
A lot of plus arms in this outfield for Kansas City. Alex Gordon, Gold Glove winner last year in left field, former third baseman, moving to the outfield, and Lorenzo Cain, another strong arm, and Francoeur, always one of the strongest arms in baseball. So it's very difficult. Talking to Dino Ebel, the third base coach today, about this outfield. It's going to be a situation where you have to take a gamble against them.
With one away, here's Howie Kendrick. He fouls off the first pitch from Hochevar, 0-1. With Albert Pujols looming in the on-deck circle. Fastball missing away, 1-1.
And getting back to that point, Kenny, why you said those top two guys so important for the Angels. If they're on base, you're more apt to challenge Albert. If there's no one on base as a pitcher, you're going to throw him a lot of off-speed pitches out of the strike zone. Even if you walk him, you'll take your chance because he can hit the ball out of the ballpark so easily if you just groove a fastball.
Now 2-1 on Kendrick. Kendrick 1 for 4 with a double in last night's game. Also struck out 3 times. An all-star for the first time in 2011. 2-2.
Howie does a great job of staying back on the baseball. Go inside out approach, center field to right center. Hit a double to dead center last night. Had an unbelievable spring, getting a lot more fastballs with that man hitting behind him, number 5.
Payoff pitch to Kendrick, low and away, ball 4.
Number 5, first baseman Albert Pujols.
Well, a huge ovation last night when Pujols was introduced prior to the game, and you mentioned during our open a World Series-like atmosphere here in Anaheim as Pujols made his Angels debut, went 0 for 3 with a walk. Now his first at bat today with a runner on first, Howie Kendrick, as Pujols takes ball 1.
Well, he's had a lot of success in his career against the Royals pitchers. 373 with 16 big flies against him, so he has seen him well. He's a number of at bats against him when he's a member of the Cardinals.
On the ground to the shortstop, Escobar. And the Royals turn the 6-4-3 double play. So Pujols now 0 for 4 as an Angel Royals lead 2-0. Today's game is sponsored by the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway MPG. And by One A Day Men's, the official multivitamin of Major League Baseball. Kenny Albert, Mark Gubicza back in Anaheim. Royals 2 runs on 4 hits in the first inning off Dan Herron, lead the Angels 2-0. Kansas City sent 7 men to the plate in the first inning. Humberto Quintero leads off here in the top of the second, and he sends this one into the left field corner. Quintero on his way to second, and he is in with a stand-up double. 5th hit of the game for the Kansas City Royals. They had only 4 last night. Mark, our keys to the game brought to you by Ford.
Well, you can see right away they're got to get into favorable counts, hitting counts for the Royals. A lot of times last night behind, had to chase Jerry Weaver's secondary pitches. But of course they've been ahead of the count here. That one right there, 1-0, get a fastball, double. Middle part of the order for the Angels, Albert, and of course Kendrys Morales. When you think about it, not many clubs can say they can add a number 3 and number 4 hitter like the Angels have done this offseason, getting Kendrys Morales back, and of course signing Albert Pujols.
Escobar lays down the bunt, moving Quintero over to third. Escobar receiving high fives from his teammates in the Royals dugout. Does his job.
Ned Yost said they're going to try to do little things to be able to create opportunities to score runs, and that's the importance. A lot of people think, oh, you're giving up and out, but now you've put a man at third base and you have one of your better hitters in Alex Gordon coming up with a chance to expand on your lead.
Infield in, Gordon grounded out to the second baseman Kendrick, who made a nice backhand play back in the first inning. Fastball missing high, ball one. Gordon hit .303 last season, 10th in the American League. Just signed a 4-year contract extension during spring training. One of a number of former first-round picks that comprise the core of this Royals roster moving forward.
Yeah, for a while they were drafting that first-round signability here, that phrase for a first-round pick, but of late they've drafted the best players, and that's why they're more successful here now, bringing these younger players, and the cornerstones are going to be around for a long time.
Dayton Moore, the Royals general manager, has done a terrific job. Grew up in the Braves organization before being named general manager in Kansas City. Now 3-1 on Gordon with Lorenzo Cain waiting on deck.
You can see what Dan Harris trying to do. Most times as a pitcher in these spots with a man on third, you want to try to jam the hitter to keep that ball in the infield if you can.
Dan Herron threw 26 pitches in the first inning. Allowed 2 runs on 4 hits, all singles. Quintero leadoff double here in the second, and he was sacrificed over to third by Escobar. Payoff pitch to Gordon. Fouled off to the left side, back behind the Angels dugout.
Well, speaking of the Braves, kind of doing the Greg Maddux style, going cut fastball in, followed up with a 2-seam fastball that starts at the hip and bringing it in the inside corner. Very difficult for a hitter to be able to get that ball into the outfield to bring home the runner.
Payoff pitch to Gordon, ball 4. So it's the first walk issued by Herron, and the Royals now have runners on the corners with only 1 out. Visit www.mlb.com/fan guide to register for a chance to win a VIP experience for 2 to a 2012 World Series game, and download your favorite team schedule as well. Presented by Scotts, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. So runners on the corners. Here's Lorenzo Cain, who singled to right his first time up. Came around to score the Royals' first run. That walk marked the first issued by an Angels pitcher this season.
And that's one thing Mike Butcher preaches, the pitching coach for the Angels, about getting ahead of the count and forcing the opponent to put the ball in play. With this defense that they have, there's a good chance it's going to be caught.
Fouled back, 0-2 on Cain.
Now Lorenzo Cain's job right now is to try to put the ball in play, preferably in the air. He does have good speed behind the count, distinct in terms of contact.
Quintero the runner on third, Gordon over at first. Cain makes contact. Right field, Torrey Hunter. Here comes Quintero. He will score. Sacrifice fly. RBI for Lorenzo Cain, his first of the season. The Royals now lead 3-0.
Well, you can see the difference where the ball goes in the air. Compared to last night, it was no carry. Torrey Hunter originally coming in, thought he might have had a chance. And when you're ahead of the count 0-2 like Dan Herron is with a young hitter, you think in terms of making that strike zone be expanded and make him swing at something out of the zone. But Cain did a nice job of making contact and hitting that ball out to Torrey Hunter to bring the run across.
Cain making contact on the 0-2 pitch from Herron. Here's Eric Hosmer, who singled up the middle. and would come around to score the second Kansas City run back in the first inning. To Hosmer. Aaron missing low. Hosmer, 6'4", grew up in Miami, finished third in the American League Rookie of the Year balloting last season. Just 22 years of age. Third overall pick back in 2008. With Gordon on the move, Hosmer drives this one to deep center field. The catch is made by Wells on the warning track to retire Eric Hosmer. 3-0 Royals. Kendrys Morales will lead off for the Angels.
It's over! Prohibition is over!
We take it back to May 29th of 2010. Kendrys Morales with a walk-off grand slam against the Mariners, and what followed, Mark, has been well documented. The injury during the celebration suffered by Morales missed the remainder of the 2010 season, all of last year. Now, from the start of 09 through the injury, Morales put together a tremendous season plus 2-month stretch, as you just saw. And what a comeback story, as last night he played his first regular season game in the majors in 678 days.
Yeah, Kenny, I got the chance to go out to Tempe to see him in spring training. And a lot of times you hear athletes, you ask them how you feel, and they give you the, I feel good. But you just didn't get that feel last spring training. But this one, the smile on his face, and even after the base hit, we were talking to him before the game today, that big smile, he's got a great, disposition about him as far as his game of baseball.
Morales with a base hit into right field. And the throw back in from Francoeur. We've seen that before. So the leadoff man is on for the Angels here in the second. Time for a game break with Matt Vasgersian. Matt.
Hey, Kenny, the Red Sox walked Miguel Cabrera 3 times on opening day, but against Josh Beckett, first at-bat this afternoon, 2-run job. Tigers take a 2-0 lead early. If you call yourself a sportsman, you got to get DirecTV. 1-800-DirecTV, Kenny.
All right, thanks, Matt. The Detroit Tigers have not made the playoffs in back-to-back years since the mid-30s.
That is amazing to consider how many great players have come and gone wearing that Tiger uniform.
And we look forward to hearing from Matt Vasgersian throughout this game and throughout the season here on Fox. As Hochevar misses outside, ball 1 to Torrey Hunter, who went 1 for 4 last night, drove in a run. Leadoff single off the bat of Morales. Left field, Alex Gordon. 1 away. Today's game presented by Chevrolet is sponsored by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds.
Boy, Torrey Hunter just missed hitting that one out off the end of the bat. 30 career home runs against Kansas City pitching, his most versus any opponent.
So he's enjoyed facing the Royals throughout his career. With Morales at first and 1 away, here is Bobby Abreu. His first at bat of the season. Did not play last night. Struggled during the early portion of spring training, but as Mike Scioscia told us earlier today, his last 10 at bats during the spring were very good.
Yeah, finally started squaring up the baseball. For Bobby, when he's successful, they'll pitch him away with fastballs. He hits the ball well to left center field. When he tries to pull that baseball, that's when he runs into problems.
Now in his 17th season, 4th with the Angels. Terrific career numbers for Bobby Abreu.
Nearly 300, a borderline Hall of Fame type player. Just past Lou Gehrig as far as all-time lists, as far as doubles too. So some of the all-time greats. Gold Glove winner also in 2005.
Two-time All-Star. Morales takes his lead off first. 1-1 to Abreu, drilled to right. Into the glove of Francoeur for out number 2.
Some loud outs against Hochevar this inning, and the thing for Luke, he wants to stay down in the strike zone. When he runs into problems, he drops his elbow enough where the fastball laterally moves across the plate, and that's when he's going to give up the fly balls and potentially balls out of the ballpark. He's got a great moving fastball and a very good slider curveball combination, but he's got to stay on top, and that's when Quintero went out to talk to him about.
So with 2 away, here's Vernon Wells, looking to bounce back from a season during which he hit just .218. Last year, his first season with the Angels after 12 years in Toronto, and he said he went back to basics during this offseason.
When you look at his power numbers with Toronto, a lot of home runs to center, to right center field. That's where his power is. Became pull happy last year. That's why you saw the batting average so low. The home run totals was still solid at 26, but he needs to be more of a guy that up the middle, and that's what he worked on all winter long. Keeping his hands quiet, letting the ball get travel into the strike zone, and then swinging at it and driving it to right center field.
A 3-time All-Star as a member of the Blue Jays. Just 1 for 7 lifetime against Hochevar. Now 1 for 8. Running catch by Kane. Will return to Anaheim after these messages from your local Fox station.
You're watching Major League Baseball on Fox.
Aaron began the year as a non-roster player. He now finds himself at the big league level. They love his makeup. Dave Duncan talked about him at length with us earlier this morning.
The familiar voice of Tom Brenneman back on July 19th, 2003, Herron's Major League debut.
Began the year as a non-roster player. He now finds himself at the big league level. They love his makeup. Dave Duncan talked about.
And now we fast forward to April 7th, 2012. Herron in his 10th Major League season. He's won 107 games. Grew up here in Southern California. Induced a flying ball to right field off the bat of Billy Butler, leading off here in the 3rd. So now with 1 away, it's Jeff Francoeur at the plate.
Boy, what a great guy to learn under. Dave Duncan, who had success with a number of different type of pitchers, whether it's Dave Stewart, Kyle Loach, Yoel Pinheiro, Chris Carpenter. All these pitchers, everything in common about them is the fact is they attack the strike zone, don't add base runners via the base on balls, and that's the thing it's allowed them to be competitive. And same thing with Dan Herron. That's why you see him at the top of the list each and every year as far as innings pitched.
He's led the league in starts 4 out of the last 6 seasons. He's made the most starts in all of baseball over the last 7 seasons combined. Francoeur with his 2nd hit of the game. He drove in 2 runs back in the 1st inning. He singles to left, so Francoeur now 2 for 2. Since 2005, only CC Sabathia with more innings pitched than Dan Herron.
That's a pretty good company he's there with. Boy, Halladay and CC Sabathia, both Cy Young Award winners. Dan Herron, Mr. Consistency.
Ball 1 to Betancourt, who struck out his first time up.
Francoeur's done a nice job against Dan Herron today. Worked the count. We talked about Angel, you know, with Dan Herron with Angel pitching going again, getting ahead of the count, but the Royals hitters getting into favorable hitting counts. And Francoeur has been successful twice now get into good hitters' counts.
And remember, Francoeur had been 1 for 13 lifetime against Herron. He's 2 for 2 today.
A little patience. Kevin Seitzer was telling us before the game about trying not to swing it, whether it's a cut fastball or slider curve out of the strike zone, forcing a fastball in. Dan Herron doesn't possess the 96-mile-an-hour fastball anymore. He spots it around 90, 91. But if you get in those counts, you have a better chance of being successful.
Long foul down the left field line off the bat of Betancourt. Yuniesky Betancourt back in Kansas City. Spent last year in Milwaukee. He was part of the Zach Greinke deal. And has returned to the Kansas City Royals. He hit a 2-run home run in Game 1 of the NLCS for the Brewers last October. Base hit into left field. It drops in front of Bobby Abreu. So Francoeur will move to second. It's the 7th hit for the Royals today as they threaten once again here in the 3rd.
Betancourt got a pitch that was middle in. Was able to fight that into left field. Dan Herron wanted to throw that pitch, that breaking pitch, off the outside corner, but got too much to the plate.
51 pitches already for Herron. Francoeur and Betancourt, the base runners. 1 out for Mike Moustakas, who was called out on strikes to end the Royals' threat back in the 1st inning. They scored 2 runs, also left 2 men on base. Kansas City leading 3-0 after losing last night's game 5-0. Royals with 2 runs in the 1st today, a run in the 2nd, and now 2 base runners in the 3rd with just 1 out. Fastball in for strike 2.
A good combination, cut fastball. First pitch fouled off, then came back with a 2-seam fastball that starts off the plate and catches the corner. Alex Gordon, when he first came off the Royals, the Angels pitchers did the same exact thing. A lot of fastball cutters in, make them aware of it, then try to go soft away.
Nice block by Bobby Wilson. 1-2 on Moustakas.
Bobby Wilson, a very solid defensive catcher for the Angels, backup catcher. Won the job in spring training. Very good as far as moving his feet, keeping the glove in position, calls a very good game.
Moustakas strikes out for the 2nd time today. 3rd strikeout for Herron.
That their steady diet of hard stuff inside when split finger fastball away. Yeah, but a young hitter, the adjustments you make as far as you try to set up pitchers where you're going to look for your favorable position to be in, but when you're chasing pitches out of zone, that allows a pitcher to have that confidence to throw a split finger like that and catch it the outside part of the plate in the dirt.
So with 2 away, here's Quintero, who doubled leading off the 2nd inning. Came around to score the Royals' 3rd run. This one gets away from Wilson. He fires down to second. The tag on Betancourt. The inning is over.
Well, Bobby Wilson did a tremendous job. This ball in the dirt, did not give up on it. Realized the guy at first going to be slower, waiting for the guy to go 3rd. Perfect throw to get Betancourt.
Bottom of the 3rd inning here at Anaheim. Alberto Callaspo leading off for the Angels against Luke Kochaver. Callaspo, the former Royal, entered the game in the 9th inning last night. So this is first at bat of the season. Hit .317 in spring training. He'll be followed by Bobby Wilson and then Eric Ibar.
Well, he hit the ball real well in spring in Tempe. And back to that line drive swing. He's a guy that if he hits the ball on the ground or on the line, effective swing. When he hits the ball in the air or he's out in front, that's when he goes into a prolonged slump. But good career hitter against the Royals. .308.
Starting at third base today, it was Mark Trumbo making the start at third last night. Trumbo, of course, moving over from first base following the signing of Albert Pujols.
It's going to make for interesting conversation with Mike Scioscia, the manager for the Angels, all season long. You know, Mark Trumbo was fantastic at first base, 29 home runs, did a solid job defensively. Now making that transition over to third base, not easy.
Towering pop-up. The right fielder Francoeur is under it. One away.
Bobby Wilson coming up now, but a tremendous job as far as getting his body in front, to not give up on it, realizing Betancourt has to wait before the runner goes to third base. A little bit more delayed. The back throw to second base gets him out at second. Solid job. Like I mentioned before, Bobby Wilson very good defensively.
First at bat of the season for Wilson. Chris Iannetta started last night's game. They will both celebrate their 29th birthdays tomorrow. Both Angels catchers born on April 8th, 1983.
I guess that's why they made that deal for Chris Iannetta, just so they could celebrate their birthdays together.
One cake, two candles.
Yes. They could do it on the flight to Minneapolis when the Angels take on the Twins for their home opener on Monday.
Angels will hit the road for 6. They'll take part in 2 more home openers, the Twins and then the Yankees.
Already checked the weather there with the new stadium, Target Field. No longer have the roof there, so it's going to be nice. Still chilly though.
Eric Ibar waiting on deck. Here's the 3-1 to Wilson. Fastball missing high and inside. Ball 4. Second walk issued by Hochevar. Angels have a 1-out base runner. Well, during this MLB on Fox season, Fox Sports is proud to support Boys and Girls Clubs of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. To learn more, please visit greatfutures.org. 1 on, 1 out. Here's Eric Ibar, who grounded out to the first baseman Hosmer his first time up. First pitch fouled off to the right side. 0-1.
Although Bobby Wilson certainly is not necessarily a stolen base threat at first base, Luke Hochevar, that's one part of this game he's going to have to improve on. He allowed 20 stolen bases in 23 attempts against him last year. Kind of deliberate going to the plate, times around 1.35 to 1.41 as far as his times to the plate, which generally a little bit slow. You want to be around 1.2 to 1.25 as far as giving your catcher a chance. Right here, you're trying to see if, as a base runner, you're trying to see what kind of collapsing of the back leg will you have as far as trying to get that little extra jump in case you are trying to steal.
Right field, Francoeur. This ball's carrying, and Francoeur makes the catch on the edge of the warning track for out number 2.
Well, you can see the difference. Day game baseball here at Angel Stadium. It's a routine fly ball out generally at night here. Last night the ball did not carry. Kendis Morales hit a ball very well to right center field. Lorenzo Cain did a nice job of running that down in front of the wall.
Francoeur has been busy. He's recorded 3 of the last 4 outs hit into by the Angels. Throw down to first. Out at first is Wilson. The tag applied by Hosmer. The inning comes to an end. So 3 innings in the books here in Anaheim. 3-0 Kansas City.
When you have cable and can't find something good to watch, you get depressed. When you get depressed, you attend seminars. When you attend seminars, you feel like a winner. When you feel like a winner, you go to Vegas. When you go to Vegas, you lose everything. And when you lose everything, you sell your hair to a wig shop. Don't sell your hair to a wig shop. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Bobby Wilson caught leading off first, picked off by Quintero, who will now lead off for the Royals here in the top of the fourth inning.
Quintero, quick transfer to the throwing arm, perfect throw. And Hosmer, I talked about how good he is with the glove, reminiscent of Wally Joyner, who played both with the Angels and the Royals as far as one of the smoothest fielders you're ever going to see.
So now Quintero leads off. Remember, he was at the plate when Wilson threw out Betancourt to end the prior half inning.
Yeah, you don't see that too often. Plays like that. Ball in the dirt. Bobby Wilson scoops, makes a throw to second, get Betancourt, and then Bobby Wilson gets picked off on the back pick at first base. Both these teams incorporate that as far as the back pick to first base. That way you can shorten up a secondary lead and not allow you to be able to try to score on a base hit into the outfield.
Left center off the bat of Quintero, and it will drop in for another stand-up double. Second two-base hit of the game for Humberto Quintero.
Well, Quintero's getting some pitches that are elevated enough where he can crush it. One to left field, this one to left center field. Split finger fastball that traveled laterally instead of down in the strike zone. Well, they're always tough when the leadoff double, because as a pitcher, then all of a sudden you think, okay, I got to try to throw something on the inner half to make him hit the ball to the left side of the infield. As a hitter, you're trying to hit the ball to the right side of the infield to advance a runner or the potential bunt here.
Corner infield is in as Escobar fouls it back to the screen. Escobar with a sacrifice bunt back in the second inning, moving Quintero over to third, and then he would score on a Lorenzo Cain sacrifice fly. So a similar scenario here in the fourth. 8 hits in the game for the Royals. They've scored 3 runs. 1-1 on Escobar.
See, by Escobar's first swing, he was thinking in terms of hitting the ball hard to the right side of the field, whether it be in the infield or to the outfield, to be able to advance Quintero to third base.
Alex Gordon waiting on deck. 1 ball, 2 strike count to Escobar with no outs here in the top of the fourth inning. Escobar down on strikes. 4th strikeout for Dan Herron. Today's game, presented by Chevrolet, is sponsored by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. So following the strikeout of Escobar by Herron, here is Alex Gordon. Swings at the first pitch, pops it up to the right side. Pujols under it, straddling the line, now in foul territory. Makes the catch for out number 2.
Looks like Bobby Wilson on this follow through on the swing gets hit with the bat by Alex Gordon. A cut fastball inside. Well, those catches back in the old days, just a regular hat wearing. You could see why that would do some serious damage. Knocked the face mask right off Bobby Wilson.
Let's listen.
So you want to be a catcher, huh? Well, it's a tough position. That's why, as a pitcher, I would always make sure when we went out to dinner, I was picking up the tab for my catcher. I know I was going to bounce some baseballs in the ground too, but then plays like that, foul tips.
Good job by you.
Yeah. And of course, if I gave up a home run, I blamed it on him because he put down the wrong finger.
And Bobby's manager, Mike Scioscia, knows the feeling.
That's why all these catchers are just happy to be out of spring training, because Mike Scioscia, former very good major league catcher, works these guys relentlessly down in Tempe. So they're happy to get the season going. But they're ready for the fundamentals of the game, that's for sure.
Socia, two-time All-Stars, a member of the Dodgers. Ned Yost, the Royals manager, a former catcher as well.
The importance of having that solid defensive catcher dictates the pace of the game for both the pitcher and the defense when they're out there.
Now 3-1 on Kane, who singled and scored in the first. Drove in a run with a sacrifice fly in the second. Full count.
Boy, if you're Kane, you had to be thinking you were getting a fastball there. A 3-1 count. Eric Hosmer on deck. Instead, gets a split finger fastball.
Playoff pitch to Kane, and he fouls it off back behind third. Wilson out for a chat with Herron. Quintero, a leadoff double. Herron then struck out Escobar. Gordon fouled out to Pujols. And now a full count with Lorenzo Cain at the plate.
But that discussion had to be, where do you want to throw your all-speed pitch here? See how quick Lorenzo Cain is with that last fastball inside.
Playoff pitch to Cain. He fouls it back.
Also, with a man on second, you go through a series of signs. You generally would just put down one sign, but with a man on second, you have to give a couple different signs. That way he cannot tip off the pitch or location.
Cain down on strikes to end the inning. Quintero stranded on second. Middle of the fourth, Albert Pujols due up second.
MLB Network is starting the new season right with 30 live games.
You believe that?
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
From all 30 clubs.
That was worth the price of admission alone.
In 30 days.
Incredible! Did that just happen?
And that's just the beginning. Don't miss Yankees Rays and catch Angels Twins. Then it's a doubleheader with Cardinals Reds followed by Royals A's. Go to MLBnetwork.com for full schedule.
Welcome back. Bottom of the fourth inning in Anaheim with the Royals leading the Angels 3-0. Howie Kendrick leading off. He walked his first time up and was at the plate in the bottom of the third inning when Bobby Wilson was picked off. There's Albert Pujols still looking for his first hit as an Angel in the on-deck circle.
Hochevar much better in his mechanics on that pitch compared to that fastball, which he overthrew to fall behind 1-0.
The 1-1 bounce to the left side. The stock is charging. Retires Kendrick.
First baseman, Albert Pujols.
Well, Pujols grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the first inning. He lined into a double play in the first inning last night. Has not yet hit the ball out of the infield as an Angel.
Well, he said he was going to have butterflies coming in his first game, and you can understand that. But when you look back at how many pressure-packed situations he's already been in his career, 2 world championships with the Cardinals, including a 3-home run game last year in the World Series.
You alluded to it, Mark. You said I get nervous 3 times per season. My first at bat of spring training, first at bat of the regular season, first at bat in the postseason.
So he must get hit every other at bat then.
Last night lined into a double play, fouled out to the third baseman, an intentional walk, and a strikeout. How about those numbers over his first 11 seasons?
Yeah, when you're mentioned with the immortals of the game, that's when you're that good. And Albert's been so successful, so consistent. Little movement as far as his stride towards the baseball. And you look at some of the great hitters. Mark Teixeira is a guy that generally loads up on the back leg. Alex Rodriguez loads up in the front leg. But when you look at Albert Pujols, really good center balance. strides very little, keeps his hands quiet through the zone, doesn't chase many pitches out of the strike zone either.
Pujols, deep left field. His first hit as an Angel. After 2,073 base hits as a member of the St. Louis Cardinals, Albert Pujols with a leadoff double here in the fourth inning, his first hit as an American leaguer.
Boy, again, that great balance, just a very little weight shift, but hands through the baseball and centers it up very well. Hits an absolute rocket to left field. Almost hit it too hard. Alex Gordon had a chance to throw him out at second, but Albert gets in there for a double.
First pitch to Morales, ball one. Kedry's single to right field back in the second inning. Base hit left field. Pujols coming home. And he is tagged out by Quintero. Mike Socha out to argue with the home plate umpire, Bob Davidson.
Well, Albert thinks he's slid underneath the tag, but he ran through the stop sign. Dino Ebel at third base felt he had a good read on the baseball. A real good view here. Quintero's going back on the baseball. Well, he looked like he tagged him on the back foot. Foot might have touched the plate before the tag was applied. Again, Alex Gordon, another outfield assist. Very good throw. Albert doesn't argue a whole lot. Look, he missed that front leg on the tag.
Torrey Hunter takes strike one, so Morales with his second hit of the game went to second on the throw as Pujols was ruled out at the plate on the tag from Quintero.
See, in the angle that Bob Davidson's at, it looks like it is the tag's going to be applied.
Center field, Kane makes the catch, and the inning comes to an end. 2 hits for the Angels in the fourth, but they still trail the Royals 3-0. One more look. Top of the fifth inning in Anaheim. Kenny Albert, Mark Kubica, Eric Hosmer leading off for the Royals, who lead the Angels 3-0. Royals with 2 runs in the first inning off Dan Herron. A run in the second. They have 3 runs on 8 hits. Angels no runs on only 3 hits against Luke Hochevar. There's Albert Pujols, who was tagged out at the plate in the last half inning. Hosmer, deep right field. This one is out of here. His first of the year. 4-0 Royals.
You can see why everybody in Kansas City is so excited to have a player like Eric Hosmer with that type of power, solid defensively, but that sweet swing he has, gets it up in the air and carries it out of the ballpark.
19 home runs for Hosmer last season, his first of 2012. Swing and a miss, 0-1 on Butler.
Boy, try to go cut fastball, but this got too much of the plate in the inner half, and that's a danger zone against a power left-handed batter. If you throw the cut fastball, you want to start on the corner and go off the plate. That started middle and went to the inside part.
Now 2-1 on Butler. We spoke with Royals manager Ned Yost about Hosmer before the game. He said he loves his makeup, his maturity. He has great instincts. And you asked Ned if he reminds him of anyone that he's been around throughout his career. And he mentioned 2 pretty impressive names. Chipper Jones, Yost, a longtime coach in Atlanta, and then Ryan Braun, whom he managed in Milwaukee.
Yeah, guys that, you know, even though they're young, at that point in their careers, they got the game. They knew exactly how to prepare, not to be overwhelmed by anything that goes along during the course of the game, whether it's the pitcher or whether you're playing on the defense. And you're talking about two guys with great swings.
Nice play by Herron. Butler is retired for out number 1. Let's go back, Mark, to the last half inning when Pujols rounded third on the base hit by Morales and ran through the stop sign of Dino Ebel.
Well, Dino Ebel is generally pretty aggressive, but you can see right there he has his hands up to be able to stop Albert, but Albert was in position. He felt comfortable reading that ball into the outfield, but Alex Gordon with 22 career outfield assists makes a perfect throw and gets Albert Pujols at the plate. You know, we were talking to Dino Ebel before the game, all above average arms in the outfield for Kansas City. And they're very aggressive, and they like to be able to be challenged and make good throws.
Fastball inside to Frank Gore, who has 2 hits today, has driven in 2 runs. Alex Gordon last year led the entire major leagues with a franchise record 20 outfield assists.
And I think it helps him because he was a third baseman, so he's used to fielding ground balls. So he comes in and charges it well. And Albert felt he had a good jump, went through the stop sign and slid in there. Looked like he ended up being safe. He took the RBI opportunity away from Torrey Hunter.
Hunter makes the play in right field. Frank Gore retired for the first time.
Well, Alex Gordon again charges the baseball very well. 20 outfield assists, led all of Major League Baseball on the Gold Glove last year. Again, when you think about it, he was supposed to be the next George Brett, the third baseman. He was drafted first by the Kansas City Royals, but struggled, made the transition to left field, and has been outstanding for him.
Betancourt 1 for 2, singled his last time up. Eric Hosmer led off the inning with a home run, his first of the season, extending the Royals' lead to 4-0. Shot into left. Bobby Abreu moves to his left. And that will do it for the Royals in the 5th, but they add to their lead. It's now 4-0 Kansas City. Fox Saturday Baseball is sponsored by Chevrolet, proud to support youth baseball in cities and towns across the country. Glad you've joined us this afternoon from Anaheim, the start of year 17 of Fox Saturday Baseball, with the Royals leading the Angels 4-0. Kenny Albert with Royals Hall of Famer Mark Kubica, who won 132 games as a member of the Kansas City Royals before finishing his career with the Angels, and now in your 6th season as the analyst on the Angels television network.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'll tell you, the transition from being out there on the mound trying to get somebody out, but being up here and having a blast with you today, Kenny. You've been outstanding.
Well, it's been fun, and you know, Mike Scioscia mentioned after last night's game that the thought crossed his mind in the 5th inning, the stat that a lot of people talked about throughout last season. The Angels last year, over the first 5 innings, were shut out a major league leading 50 times. They did not score a run until the 8th last night. And we are now in the bottom of the 5th, 4-0 Royals.
Yeah, it's amazing, though, but what it does, it puts a lot of pressure on your starting staff to try to keep the opponent down to a low amount of runs scored against you. That way it allows Mike Scioscia to still incorporate the running game, the little ball, along with the ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark. The reality is he would love to see it. In spring training, they were so good as far as scoring a lot of runs in the 1st inning. That allows you to be more aggressive. You could see on the Royal side with Hochevar getting a lot of early support. He's been more aggressive because of that.
Fastball missing inside, full count. Bobby Abreu lined out to right his first time up. Abreu, Wells, and Callaspo for the Angels here in the 5th. Abreu down on strikes. That is the first strikeout for Luke Hochevar this afternoon. Well, next Saturday, NASCAR on Fox heads to Texas and goes under the lights in prime time as defending champion Matt Kenseth will lead the world's best drivers to the Great American Speedway to chase the checkered flag. Fox Sports is proud to bring you exclusive coverage of Sprint Cup Series racing presented by Farmers Live from the Texas Motor Speedway next Saturday following Fox Saturday Baseball at 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific. Vernon Wells fly to center. His first time up. You know, speaking of NASCAR, Royals manager Ned Yost wears uniform number 3 as a tribute to his very close friend, the late Dale Earnhardt.
Wow, that's impressive. And the way when you talk to him, he looks like he has that same kind of demeanor as Dale had. Very tough as a player, and of course you see that as a manager too.
They spent a lot of time together before Earnhardt's tragic passing. Ned Yost now in his 3rd season as Royals manager, his 2nd full season after 6 years in Milwaukee. Spent 12 years as a coach under Bobby Cox in Atlanta.
When we were talking to him today, all he kept saying is, hey, this team is going to hit, and they certainly have done so today with 9 hits. He just said you have to tip your cap to Jerry Weaver last night, the job he did. We've had a better game plan against Dan Herron so far in this one.
2-2 to Wells, foul back to the screen. Royals lead 4-0. 4 runs on 9 hits for Kansas City. No runs, only 3 hits for the Angels.
Well, back in the day when both the Royals and the Angels were both in the AL West, it used to be a great rivalry. Battled each other very well. 85 won the World Series in 86. The Angels come back and win that division. Had that great series against Boston. That was the one thing we always circled on our counter as a member of the Royals, is playing the Angels. They were tough. It seemed like they had Hall of Famers at every single position.
Royals won the season series last year over the Angels 7-3.
Prior to that, the Angels have had a lot of success against the Royals. And it comes down to starting pitching for Kansas City. Their bullpen's solid. It's all coming down to how they pitch starting the game.
Vernon Wells down on strikes. 2nd consecutive strikeout for Luke Hochevar. Well, the MLB Fan Cave is back. This year, 9 cave dwellers will compete to remain in the cave until the final pitch of the World Series. Some of baseball's biggest stars are scheduled to visit and appear in Fan Cave videos. Check out all the latest cave happenings at MLBFancave.com. Follow at MLB Fan Cave on Twitter and like on Facebook. Two away, Alberto Callaspo takes ball 1. Did you have a chance to make it down to the Fan Cave at all last year?
No, I have not. Haven't been invited yet. I'm looking forward to it if I do ever get the invitation.
Well, our Tim McCarver made a visit last year, as well as a number of current Major League players, and I hope to head down there this year as well.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
.70 pitches so far for Hochevar.
Pretty good number overall for him as far as total pitches in the game.
He strikes out the side in the 5th. So we head to the 6th inning at Anaheim with the Royals on top 4-0. Today's game is sponsored by Dodge. Visit your local Dodge dealer today. And by Scott's Turf Builder Lawn Food. Feed your lawn. Feed it. Well, the Kansas City Royals out to a 4-0 lead over the Angels. Top of the 6th inning here in Anaheim. Dan Herron, 88 pitches over the first 5, facing the bottom of the Royals order. The number 7 hitter Mike Moustakas leading off. He has struck out twice. Moustakis drills this one down the right field line. It's gone. A home run. Mike Moustakis, his first of the season. The Royals now lead 5-0.
Well, you can see why they're so excited about him also, along with Eric Hosmer being quick with his hands through the strike zone. Which was elevated, was still able to get the top hand through and hit it out the right field. And again, that ball was up in the strike zone. Most times you see a left-handed batter, they prefer the ball down, but that was a fastball up. Got through the swing and hit it out in a hurry.
And then Quintero grounds out to Herron for out number 1. Mark, take me back about an hour and a half ago. Our game open, you highlighted 2 members of the Kansas City Royals.
Boy, both.
Who were they again?
Yeah, Mike Moustakis and Eric Hosmer both hit the ball out of the ballpark. These guys have super quick hands. And that fastball was up in the strike zone. Dan Herron's been very successful. You mentioned, Kenny, it struck him out twice. Fastball in the first time. Then after a number of fastballs, split finger away. This time elevates the fastball, but still quick through it and hits it out.
First pitch to Escobar, in for a strike, 0-1. So Moustakis, we mentioned earlier, grew up in Southern California, hit his first major league home run in this ballpark last June. Diving stop, but Callaspo unable to make the play. Escobar on at first with an infield single.
One of his plays too is we were talking to Ned Yost about Moustakis diving in front of the shortstop. Callaspo does so. Ibar was in better position almost to make that play. Yeah, but as an infielder, you want to make all the plays, but you can see Ibar right in position, potentially with a strong arm.
And that will be all for Dan Herron. He'll be replaced by Hisanori Takahashi.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Welcome back to Major League Baseball on Fox. Year 17, presented by Chevrolet. Kenny Albert, Mark Kubica here in Anaheim, top of the 6th inning. 1 out. Escobar the runner on first, as 37-year-old left-hander Hisanori Takahashi comes on in relief of Dan Herron, who allowed 11 hits, 5 runs. Escobar is his responsibility. Takahashi facing Alex Gordon, strike 1.
Boy, it's an oddity. Coming into this game, you look at Dan Herron, 4-1 career mark against the Royals with an ERA of 1.91, and Hochevar against the Angels 0-3 with an ERA over 8. Yet it's been a reversal in this game as far as their performances today.
Alex Gordon 0 for 2 with a walk. Also threw out Albert Pujols, attempting to score in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Well, when you think about at bats during a game or plays in the field, for me, that's a turning point of the game. Alex Gordon charging that baseball aggressively and throwing Albert Pujols out at the plate instead of being first and third with 1 out with Torrey Hunter up. But at that point of the game, it's a 3-0 game. You can get right back in it. Instead, makes the play at the plate. Hunter's out, and then next thing you know, you look up, now it's 5-0.
Angels would have had first and third with 1 out had Pujols held at third, but instead he was tagged out at the plate, at least in the mind of the home plate umpire Bob Davidson.
Well, the guys that take pride in their defense, you know, I talked to Torrey Hunter a number of times. Yes, he likes to hit the ball out of the ballpark, but he always enjoyed stealing a home run away from his opponent almost as much as hitting 1 out. Willie Wilson, I played in Kansas City, same way at center field. They just love to be able to prevent the other team from scoring, and they took as much joy out of that as from a good swing at the plate.
Think back to how excited Torrey Hunter was when he robbed Barry Bonds of a home run in the All-Star game.
Oh, he still talks about that one.
Gordon, the only Royal starter without a hit today. Kansas City with 5 runs on 11 hits.
I think it was a couple years ago. Torrey Hunter has always, for some reason, hit well on his birthday, but he did not hit a home run. Or maybe it was Mother's Day, but he prevented a home run. He went over the fence and brought one back and said, hey, I didn't hit one out, but I took one away.
One out, top of the 6th inning. Takahashi in relief of Herron, with the Royals leading the Angels 5-0. Now 2-2 on Alex Gordon.
Takahashi, good fastball, 88 to 91 range. Very good slow curveball, slider, changeup.
Full count, 3-2 on Gordon. Eric Hosmer with a leadoff home run for the Royals in the 5th. Mike Moustakas, leadoff home run here in the 6th off Dan Herron. Payoff pitch to Gordon, and Takahashi strikes him out. Now 2 away. Time for another DirecTV game break. Here's Matt Vescursion. Matt.
Kenny, get a load of this in Detroit. Not 1, but 2 today for Prince Fielder. The 3rd multi-home run game on this first Saturday of the regular season. Miguel Cabrera and Alex Avila have also gone deep. All Tigers. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV, Kenny.
Wow, thanks, Matt. So Albert Pujols with his first hit as an Angel today. Prince Fielder with 2 home runs for the Tigers. And now Lorenzo Cain flies out to Bobby Abreu in left. Royals extend their lead. First it was Hosmer leading off with a home run in the 5th, and then Moustakas the same in the 6th.
I have 2 products in front of you. Now we're going to start with product X. This is a very affordable product that will help save you a lot of money.
I like it. I like it too.
This is product Y. This is a much more expensive product. You will not see a lot of savings with this one.
Harsh.
You chose Geico, and you did not choose their competitor. Was this your first car insurance taste test?
Luke Hochevar delivers the first pitch here in the bottom of the 6th inning to Bobby Wilson. It's a called strike. 0-1. Wilson walked his first time up back in the 3rd inning, and then was picked off first base. Wilson, Ibar, and Kendrick for the Angels, who scored all 5 of their runs last night in the 8th inning. They have been shut out over the first 5 innings today by Luke Hochevar. Albert Pujols thought he scored back in the 4th, but he was ruled out at the plate on the throw from Alex Gordon.
Well, Hochevar's has been outstanding. His tempo on the mound, his mechanics have been pretty much flawless throughout this entire game.
Popped up out of play. 1-2 on Bobby Wilson. the ground to the shortstop, Escobar. One away.
Well, both Hochevar and Bruce Chen have done an outstanding job. 11 innings pitched so far against this Angel lineup, a lineup that swung the bat extremely well in spring training. 0 runs allowed. 7 punch-outs also. And the big key for Bruce Chen last night, 6 times got ahead of the count 0-2. Finish them off with an assortment of fastballs, whether elevated or change-ups away.
Angels scored their 5 runs against the Royals bullpen in the 8th inning last night. Shutout so far this afternoon by Hochevar.
And Ned Yost told us before the game, for Hochevar to be successful, he's going to have to pitch inside. Well, he's certainly done that today with either his four-seam fastball or cut fastball in on left-handed batters. Again, not falling out of his mechanics. At 6'5", you can have that tendency to do so. Just keeping himself nice and compact.
Ibar down on strikes. 4th strikeout for Hochevar, who struck out the side back in the 5th inning. There's Howie Kendrick, 0 for 1 with a walk today. Walked back in the 1st inning, grounded out to 3rd in the 4th. Well, you can tweet us your opening weekend comments as well as pictures to @MLB on Fox. Mark, I know you have not yet joined the Twitter world.
I've been asked a number of times to join. I'm going to have to cave in, I think, before too long.
Well, Lily Rosales, who handles all of the social media for Fox Sports, is here in the booth with us today. And if she can't persuade you, then nobody will be able to.
I'm going to have to.
I know your kids have been all over you as well.
Yes, they nonstop say, Dad, you got to get out of the dark ages and join us in prime time.
Lily will have you there by the end of today's game. Don't worry.
I'm hoping.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th inning. Albert Pujols waiting on deck. Should Ibar reach? The 2-2 from Hochevar. Popped into right center. Francoeur makes the catch. Hochevar has retired 7 in a row.
4 huge fights, live, free, and only on Fox.
Our game summary is brought to you by Jeep. Luke Hochevar, 6 shutout innings. Dan Herron, the Angel starter, allowed 5 runs on 11 hits, including 2 home runs. Albert Pujols with his first base hit as a member of the Angels. Here's Eric Hosmer leading off for the Royals in the top of the 7th inning against Hisadori Takahashi. Hosmer with his first home run of the season, leading off the 5th.
I think when you look back at this game so far, the ability for the Royals to put up 2 runs in the top of the 1st to give Hochevar a little bit of a cushion, because he has struggled in his career, has never beat the Angels in a game, 0-3 with an ERA over 8. So that gave him the confidence to attack the strike zone. Got to give a lot of kudos to the offense to keep piling on here as the game progresses.
Royals with 4 consecutive singles in the 1st inning. Jeff Francoeur driving in 2 runs. Then the Royals pieced together a run in the 2nd after a Quintero leadoff double. And then solo shots. Hosmer in the 5th, Moustakas in the 6th. Now 3-1 on Hosmer with Billy Butler waiting on deck.
See how special he is at the plate, taking some tough pitches from a left-handed pitcher. Doesn't give up against lefties, stays back very well.
Center field, Vernon Wells. 1 away. Jason Isringhausen up and throwing in the Angels pen. Mike Scioscia out to the mound, and that will be all for Takahashi, who faced 3 batters and retired them all. So it will be the 39-year-old Jason Isringhausen when we return. '39-year-old Jason Isringhausen with 300 career saves, third among active pitchers, in relief of Takahashi with 1 out here in the 7th inning. Isringhausen made his major league debut mark back in 1995 as a starter with the New York Mets. How long has he been around? As he delivers to Billy Butler in his first ever major league start, he was relieved by Jerry Dipoto, who is now his general manager.
That's probably why he brought him aboard. You know, the bottom line about Isringhausen, yes, the fastball is not quite as crisp as it was in the past, but a great veteran influence, especially for Jordan Walden down in the bullpen.
Butler pops out to the third baseman, Cayaspo, for out number 2. Now, Isringhausen is a mere youngster compared to the man who will start for the Colorado Rockies tonight in Houston, 49-year-old Jamie Moyer.
That's an amazing story, too, when you think about Jamie Moyer. We played together in American Legion Baseball way back in Pennsylvania back in 1980, and he's still getting people out somehow.
Jamie Moyer, born in November of '62. As Isringhausen delivers to Francoeur, who takes strike 1. 267 career wins. Moyer, should he win tonight or at any point this season, will become the oldest pitcher to ever win a major league game. He was asked about that. He said, well, I hope to win more than 1.
Yeah, you would think generally if you're going to be an older pitcher like that, you'd be a knuckleball pitcher, but he's made a lot of successful pitches on that outside part of the plate, and he breaks as many bats as anybody in the game, not including the guy we saw on that save list in Mariano Rivera is a guy that breaks a lot of bats. So does Jamie Moyer. You know, you look away and he throws a little cut fastball about 82, 83 on the hands and breaks bats.
Another look at Jerry Dipoto, the first-year general manager with the Angels.
I don't think he stopped smiling, though he's not smiling today, but he hasn't stopped smiling since taking over the job, and what a job he did as far as adding to this club during the wintertime. From getting a Jason Isringhausen, Albert Pujols, C.J. Wilson, LaTroy Hawkins down in the bullpen, Chris Iannetta to be able to help out behind the plate, not only catching, but with the power behind the plate.
Imagine that. You're a first-year general manager, and your franchise signs Albert Pujols and C.J. Wilson.
That's why you walk around with a smile and everyone knows your name. Generally, general managers are not well known around sports.
Francoeur down on strikes. 7th inning stretch time. Albert Pujols will lead off for the Angels. Time for the Just for Men Auto Stop Foolproof Stat. Albert Pujols among active home run leaders. He is 4th. Check out the strikeout totals.
That's the thing. Generally, when you think of home run hitters, you think of power and of course, swings and misses. But Albert Pujols, such a different beast. He hits for the average, drives and runs, and also hits the ball out of the ballpark.
So just as the Angels can count on Albert Pujols, you can count on Just for Men Auto Stop for foolproof results. Bottom of the 7th inning, new second baseman for the Royals, Chris Getz, replacing Yuniesky Betancourt. With Kansas City out on top, 5-0. Pujols 1 for 2, doubled back in the 4th inning, and then was thrown out at the plate attempting to score on a Kendrys Morales base hit. Pujols, of course, spent his high school years in the Kansas City area.
Was a shortstop back in that time.
Spent his early years in the Dominican Republic, moved to New York City for a short time period, and then it was out to Kansas City, won a state title in '97. And then it was on to Maple Woods Community College in 1999. Drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals in the 13th round in the '99 draft. Left field. This will stay in the ballpark. Gordon has it. One away. Mark, I'm sure you're a longtime subscriber of the Kansas City Star. We take you back to March 27th, 1997. The highlighted paragraph with plenty of new faces and questions to be answered. Somebody to watch will be junior Albert Pujols, who comes from the Dominican Republic by way of New York City. He collected 2 hits on Monday.
Yeah, what a shock. He had 2 hits in the game there. I mean, you could just see right from the get-go that that man can flat out hit. You know, all kinds of sports, whether you could see a guys throwing motion as a quarterback, or somebody in hockey or basketball with that touch of Kobe Bryant. You just know he was built to hit, and there's never been a time where he hasn't hit at any level.
And it was interesting listening to Mike Scioscia speak this morning about Albert Pujols when asked about the designated hitter spot, which was unavailable, of course, to Pujols for his 11 years in St. Louis, aside from interleague play in American League ballparks, as Morales has his 3rd base hit of the day. He is now 3 for 3, and Scioscia said, I want Pujols out there every day. I want him to bat in all 162 games, so if it means taking 10 or 12 days off from playing first base, I still want him in there as the DH.
Yeah, Mike Scioscia does a great job of utilizing that DH position to give players those pseudo days off. He did that a lot with Vernon Wells and Torrey Hunter in the past, where you think it's a day off from the field, but you still get a chance to keep that bat in the lineup. And being in the American League is going to have that affordability for Mike Scioscia to keep him in there. Instead of a 150 games workload, he's going to be possibly 160 game.
Torrey Hunter takes a called strike. Hunter 0 for 2 today. How about Morales making his return? A base hit last night, and he is 3 for 3 today.
Yeah, and his last hit last night was hitting from the left side. So when you mentioned that day off, that might be the time where tough left-handed pitcher give Kendricks the day off hitting from the right side. Put Trumbo at first base.
Ball gets away from Hosmer. Morales will be sent to 3rd base.
Yeah, get an extra base because it was thrown from the field. Well, a quick transfer with a low throw. Hosmer unable to pick it, and it hit off his arm and into the dugout, where the base runners are afforded 2 bases.
Pop foul off the bat of Torrey Hunter. No play for Quintero. You know, you talk about the Royals catching situation, and a couple of major injuries suffered during spring training by a pair of young catchers.
Boy, Salvador Perez is one of the top prospects for this Royals organization. They signed him to a long-term deal with not a whole lot of playing time. His 39 games last year, got hurt. Should be back in about 8 to 10 weeks. Big part of this rebuilding process for the Royals.
Manny Pena, the other young catcher, injured his knee during spring training as well. So Kansas City swung the deal for Quintero, acquired from Houston back on March 20th, as a beach ball has made its way onto the warning track.
It's taken some time to make its way out there.
Retrieved by Jeff Francoeur.
That will never make its way back out again.
Morales, the runner on 3rd. 1 out, bottom of the 7th inning. The 1-2 to Torrey Hunter. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, that was a pretty good pitch. Hochevar executed that fastball, 2-seamer, started off the corner, and looked like it almost got the zone, maybe a little bit below the knees. And the Angels have the contact play on normally, but it'll be interesting to see if it's still on with Kendricks Morales at 3rd base.
2-2, right field. Francoeur coming on. It's a base hit for Hunter, and Morales had a hold up, and he gets back in safely at 3rd. It looked as if Francoeur might have a shot to make the catch, so Morales only went about a quarter of the way. The Angels now have runners on 1st and 3rd with 1 out, and that will be all for Luke Hochevar.
Well, he did an outstanding job today.
Ed Yost calling for the left-hander, Tim Collins.
In the early part of the year, that's why that decision was made to take him out.
There's Jeff Francoeur out in right field. The last ball hit by Torrey Hunter dropped in for a base hit, and Morales forced to hold at third.
Boy, the big swing by Torrey and just flared it in front of Francoeur. 97 career outfield assists. Kenneth Morales didn't feel comfortable going in on that ball initially, but fortunately enough for the Angels, he's able to slide back to third. But Francoeur has been picking on Morales. He almost threw him out at first base on a base hit early in the game. He knows he's had a good arm, and Kendricks is coming back from that ankle injury.
So now the 22-year-old left-hander, 5'7", Tim Collins, throws his first pitch of the regular season, and Bobby Abreu lines it down the right field line. Morales scores. Hunter around third, held up by Dino Evil. It's an RBI double for Bobby Abreu. The Angels have their first run of the afternoon.
You know, Bobby, as he's getting a little bit older, now guessing on the inner half of the plate, most times you're going to see him take the first pitch, be patient at the plate, but he's going to jump right out and be able to get a pitch to be able to drive and hit it right down the right field line. Boy, hands in great hitting position, little stride, and hands through that baseball, hits it the right field for an RBI double. Now two guys in scoring position for the Angels.
Vernon Wells at the plate, and he takes strike one. Wells 0 for 2 today. Collins last season tied a Royals rookie franchise record by making 68 appearances out of the pen.
Can be wild at times. You see that 48 walks.
On the ground for the third baseman, Moustakas fires across. Hunter scores the Angels' second run. It's now a 5-2 Royals lead. Today's game is sponsored by the 2012 Ford F-150, built Ford tough. And by 1&1 My Website, where creating a business website is easy. Both runs charged to the Royals starter Luke Hochevar, who will now head to the clubhouse.
Generally, pitchers will wait to see if whenever their base runners either stranded or score before they go in there and take that shower and get the ice done.
Strike one to Alberto Callaspo, who is 0 for 2, struck out his last time up.
Interesting thing on that play, Moustakas may have gone home if the score was a little bit different, but having 3 runs to play with, decided to keep Bobby Abreu at second and to make the throw across. Might have had a play at the plate with Torrey Hunter running, who hesitated himself initially on that ground ball to Moustakas.
Abreu's career numbers with runners in scoring position drove in the first Angel run of this game. Nothing in 2 on Callaspo.
Bobby Abreu, when you look at his numbers overall, you think in terms of borderline Hall of Fame type guy, not quite in there, but not too far away. Been a pretty consistent run producer, can steal bases. 21 stolen bases last year.
Called strike 3 on the outside corner, but the Angels score 2 and have cut the Royals lead to 5-2. Royals lead the Angels as we move to the 8th. 39-year-old Jason Isringhausen will be replaced by 39-year-old LaTroy Hawkins.
Trying to get that experience down in the bullpen. Again, it's all helping Jordan Walden as far as making that transformation into the closer for the ball club. The all-star last year, Jordan Walden, but Hawkins still a very effective fastball. 93 to 96 range, good curveball. Above all, he's had to get people out.
Well, try and retire Chris Getz, who is batting for the first time today, first time this season. 28-year-old left-handed hitter out of Wake Forest, who has gone 604 at-bats without a home run.
Definitely a guy that utilizes his speed, tries to hit the ball on the ground.
Hits this one on the ground, and it sneaks past third base for a base hit. A leadoff double here in the top of the 8th inning for Chris Getz in his first at bat of the season.
And you got a lot of speed now at second base here with no outs. He's kept his hands quiet. Didn't try to do a whole lot with it. Punched it right down the third baseline, right over the base. Barry Lane all over that call. Third base umpire in position to be able to make that call.
Royals leadoff man has reached in 5 of the 8 innings this afternoon.
Especially a number of leadoff doubles too, which makes it more difficult as a pitcher to get through the inning.
In fact, all 5 leadoff hits have gone for extra bases. 3 doubles, 2 home runs.
And like Ned Yo said, he said this club will hit the Royals. It's going to come down to starting pitching, and they've certainly got some quality starts so far from Bruce Chen, and of course Luke Hochevar did a great job himself.
The 1-0 to Mike Moustakas. Now 1-1. Moustakas struck out twice, and then he took Dan Herron deep in the 6th inning. There's Hochevar back in the Royals dugout as his teammates look to add to their 5-2 lead.
Tell you what, he was really impressive today. Didn't overthrow pitches. Hit a good fastball. You know, early in his career, he had a 13 strikeout performance against Texas in '09, so he has the stuff. It's a matter of being consistent with his mechanics to make sure he repeats his pitches.
Troy Hawkins pitching for his 9th team. 4th pitcher of the day for the Angels. The starter Herron went 5 1/3, allowed 5 runs on 11 hits. Isanori Takahashi pitched a scoreless inning. Jason Isringhausen faced 2 batters, retired them both. Now the 1-2 from Hawkins to Moustakas, and Moustakas strikes out for the 3rd time today. Well, we flash back to Mark Gubas's career. 13 seasons on the mound for the Kansas City Royals, a 2-time All-Star. World Series back in 1985, and then finished up here with the Angels.
But I looked young back in those days. A few home runs later, now look what happens. You get a little bit older looking.
Just a few.
Yeah.
So you pitched for both teams, the Royals and the Angels. Would you rather be out there or up here?
You know what? Anytime you get a chance to put on a uniform, that's the best feeling in the world. And both these organizations have been successful. Wouldn't mind get back in there.
Throw down to third, sails into left field, so Getz will score. Royals now lead 6-2.
And that's aggressive base running. Chris Getz, very good speed, red. LaTroy Hawkins, again, you got to try to vary your look back to second base. And when you set a pattern, good base stealers pick it up and they go. 153 stolen bases last year, which was second best. Great jump. And of course, a very tough throw for Bobby Wilson with Quintero right in front of him. It impeded his throw as far as the throw straight through to third base, resulting in an error.
So a stolen base for Getz, and the error charged to Wilson, allowing Getz to score. Now the 2-0 to Quintero. In for a called strike. Quintero with those 2 leadoff doubles we mentioned back in the 2nd and 4th innings.
Again, the hitter doesn't have to get out of the way. Quintero could be in that position, which he should if you're the batter there, to be able to make that throw difficult. We get a real good view here for Bobby Wilson as he tries to make the throw, stays in front, forces the higher throw, and the ball sails into left field for Bobby Wilson.
What a catch by a fan on that foul ball. Just to our right.
That's why you bring a glove.
Payoff pitch from Hawkins, missing high with the fastball, ball 4, so Quintero heads down to first.
Troy Hawkins with 87 career saves. So you have Hawkins with 87, Isringhausen with 300, helping the maturity level for Jordan Walden down in the bullpen. Talking to Mike Butcher last year a number of times with that process for Jordan Walden, which, you know, originally he was coming into the club as a 7th inning guy last year and ended up being an all-star closer.
Strike 1 to Escobar. Walden 32 saves last year, but he also suffered 10 blown saves.
And when you don't have a veteran around there to help you out, Scott Downs did a great job with that. He was a great 8th inning guy for him, but you need more veterans down there to be able to help you through the times in which you blow a save. How do you bounce back from that?
Nothing and 2 on Escobar. An infield single his last time up. 1 out, top of the 8th inning. Royals lead 6-2. Field 2 from Hawkins, up the middle. And that will do it for the Royals, the 6-3 double play. Today's game is sponsored by the Lexus ES, complete luxury in a class full of compromises. 6-2 lead for the Kansas City Royals. As we head to the bottom of the 8th inning, the Lexus in-game box score for the Angels. 3 hits for Kendrys Morales. Albert Pujols with his first hit as an Angel.
But the table setter is not getting on base consistently in this game at all. How he was able to mix in a walk back in the first inning, but 0 for 5. Top of the order for Eric Ibar and Howie Kendrick.
New pitcher for the Royals is 26-year-old right-hander Greg Holland, and he will face a pinch hitter, Mycer Turris. Batting for Bobby Wilson, takes strike 1. First at bat of the season for Turris. Nothing in 2.
Greg Holland was outstanding last year coming out of the bullpen for the Royals. Got a very good fastball, plus fastball 93-96, curveball, slider, and split finger fastball.
Holland allowed the last 2 runs the Angels scored last night, 2/3 of an inning, after Aaron Crow allowed the first 3. Is Turris, then Ibar, then Kendrick. And if any of those 3 reach, then Pujols. Ground ball to the right side. Hosmer with the flip to Holland, 1 away. Well, Mark, next Saturday on Fox Saturday Baseball, these Angels will visit the Bronx. Angels and Yankees.
That should be an
12:30 Eastern.
Outstanding series there.
Albert Pujols making only his 2nd trip during the regular season to Yankee Stadium. Also played in the All-Star game at the old stadium back in 2008.
With that jet stream, the right field, the right center field in the new Yankee Stadium. Hitters love going there, especially if you're a left-handed batter, you have a pull swing.
Ibar 0 for 3. Charging is the shortstop, Escobar. Barehands it and throws out Ibar for out number 2.
Well, that's some kind of play. There's no way if you get a chance, if you have to field that ball with your glove and the transfer, no chance to throw Ibar running down the line. It was an infield base hit machine, but Escobar came in with the bare hand, strong throw. And you look at this infield and outfield for the Royals, all have plus arm strength. And it took that strong arm to be able to get Ibar going out down the first base.
So with 2 outs, here's Kendrick, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. Getting back to that Angels-Yankees game on Fox next Saturday. Pujols' only series at Yankee Stadium was way back in June of 2003 at the old stadium. Yankees swept the Cardinals. Pujols went 3 for 10 with a home run off Mike Messina. And then Albert was the starting designated hitter for the National League in the 2008 All-Star game. He went 2 for 3.
And that's the thing about Albert. He has that ability to go the other way. Still a blast to hit out the left center field in the new stadium also, just like the old stadium.
Pujols on deck should Kendrick reach. Royals lead the Angels 6-2 with 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th inning. Up the middle, a base hit for Kendrick. Pujols 1 for 6 as a member of the Angels, doubled back in the 4th inning. Last night was Pujols' first ever regular season game in this ballpark. Coming into this 2012 season, he had never played a game in Anaheim or Minnesota.
And he gets that out of the way right away to start the year. A lot of camera flashes going last night. What we hear hasn't happened like that since Reggie Jackson came aboard with the Angels, as far as the picture taken when someone took the plate to go up and hit.
Did you have your camera out last night?
I did, as a matter of fact. But it all saved on my cell phone. Now, for me right there, for Greg Holland, your focus has to be on Albert Pujols and not the base runner. You have a 4-run lead. Any distraction at all, and you're playing into Albert's hands, and that's when all of a sudden you look up, it's a 6-4 game instead.
Nothing in 2 on Pujols. Now, we heard the boos when Holland threw over, which always seems to be the case no matter what ballpark you're in. As the pitcher, do you hear that? Are you aware?
Yeah, I mean, a lot. That's the one time your focus, like I said, is going away from the hitter. You're thinking in terms of thrown over. But I think a lot of times when you do that, it's because you're indecisive about what pitch you want to throw to the batter, because there's no reason at that point to throw over with a 4-run lead late like this.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th inning as Holland delivers to Pujols, and he misses away. 1-2.
I think Greg Holland wanted this pitch. Pretty close. Maybe a different hitter up there, you might get that borderline pitch if you're on the hill.
He's retired Pujols in both previous career at-bats. Pujols fouls this one back into our booth. You predicted that, Mark.
I said there would be one coming up here.
Where'd it go?
I'm always trying to run away and shy away from a baseball.
There it is. We got it. There it is.
I can't avoid it. Always getting line drives back at me.
You told me before the game we would get at least one.
Yes, I did. I was glad it didn't hit us.
Called strike 3. So Holland strikes out Pujols to end the 8th. Welcome back, Chris Iannetta. Now behind the plate for the Angels. And the new pitcher is 27-year-old right-hander Rich Thompson. So the battery of Thompson and Iannetta. And Maicer is Turris will remain in the game at second base.
Rich Thompson, a guy with used to be a four-seam fastball guy, mid-90s. Became more of a cut fastball, sinker, very good curveball though.
Top of the order for the Royals. Here in the 9th, Gordon, Kane, and Hosmer. Thompson's numbers last season in 44 appearances. Royals got on the board early. They scored 2 runs on 4 consecutive singles in the first inning off Dan Herron. Jeff Francoeur driving in a pair of runs. They manufactured a run in the second. And then solo shots off Herron as a second beach ball has entered the field of play. Hosmer in the 5th, Moustakas in the 6th. Took Herron deep. Albert Pujols in his second game as an Angel, 1 for 4. After going 0 for 3 last night.
Yeah, you wonder, you know, everyone's the normal question would be, are you pressing, trying to live up to the expectations? But when you think about what Albert has accomplished and how many pressure-packed games he's played in already, you wouldn't think that's the case. But coming to a new team, you want to perform. You mentioned earlier, first 5 innings as far as no runs scored. Back-to-back games, and with Albert's been part of it, it's happened. See that lifting that back foot up? Just a little bit more of a shift than normally you see out of Albert. Just trying to drive the ball. But that's one thing, if you ask Mike Sochi after the game, is he concerned? And he'll say absolutely not when it comes to Albert Pujols is going to hit.
Lorenzo Cain, well hit. And the catch is made in right field by Torrey Hunter. One thing I've noticed today is it's a different sound when the ball hits off the bat of Lorenzo Cain. Hosmer as well. Yeah, as he went deep in the 5th inning off Dan Herron, and then Moustakas in the 6th. Today's stronger moments brought to you by Mazda. Better, stronger, smarter.
Sounds good off the bat when you could square up the baseball, and Hosmer has that ability. You mentioned Moustakas. Cain had a tremendous spring training as far as power numbers in Arizona. So those 3 guys jumping off the bat with the baseball.
Jonathan Broxton, familiar face here in Southern California, is the Royals closer with the injury suffered by Joakim Soria. Underwent his second Tommy John surgery this week. Ground ball to the right side is Turris to Pujols. We head to the bottom of the 9th with the Royals leading by 4. Welcome back to Fox Saturday Baseball, year 17, presented by Chevrolet. Kenny Albert, Mark Gubicza. Kansas City Royals leading the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim 6-2. It will be Kendrys Morales leading off for the Angels against Jonathan Broxton, who spent the last 7 years as a member of the Dodgers, the 27-year-old right-hander. 84 saves with the Dodgers, a 2-time All-Star. And with Soria out, Broxton earning an opportunity in his first season with the Royals.
Still possesses a plus fastball, 94 to 99. An above average slider also. When confident, is a very, very good closer.
Morales 3 for 3 today. Morales 4 for 4. What a story. His second game back after missing all of last season, the last 4 months of 2010. And Kendrys Morales now has 5 hits and 7 at-bats this season.
Boy, he got a tremendous standing ovation last night when they announced him being in the ball game. So basically 5 straight hits for Kendrys Morales, all hitting from the left side. And if you watch him during the course of the game, he runs and keeps loose in the dugout as much as possible to keep that ankle ready, just in case he has to have that quick step out of the batter's box.
Here's Torrey Hunter, 1 for 3. Perfect bunt by Hunter. First and third. Nobody out for the Angels.
Well, you might question why would Torrey Hunter be bunting there in an RBI situation, but the bottom line is they need base runners. When Torrey Hunter recognizes they're playing back, they're going to give him that base hit if he gets the bunt down. Got it over Jonathan Broxton's head, nestled in on that infield grass, and gets a base hit. Now a couple runners on here in the 9th inning.
First and third, nobody out. Angels trail by 4. Here's Bobby Abreu. An RBI double, his last time up. Morales on third, Hunter over at first. Strike 1 to Abreu.
It's always tough as a manager trying to get those last 3 outs. Those are the most difficult as a manager to be able to manufacture your way through, getting those last 3 outs no matter who. Even Jonathan Broxton, he's been a very good closer throughout his career, but still a little bit of doubt in his mind as he tries to reestablish himself as a closer.
Now 2-1 on Abreu, who drove in the Angels' first run of the game back in the 7th inning after they fell behind 5-0, and now Quintero out for a chat with Broxton.
Again, basically he goes out there and says, just trust your stuff. You're still throwing the ball hard. You still have a good slider. He's mixing in now a slower curveball to give that differential in speeds. But you have to be able to throw strikes. You can't fall behind in the count when you're closing ball games.
Morales, a leadoff double. Hunter, a bunt single. The 2-1 to Abreu, now 2-2.
Well, Bobby generally doesn't chase pitches out of the strike zone. A two-seam sinker. It's a swing and miss. It changes that whole bat around. Instead of being 3-1 for him, it's now even up at 2. Gives Broxton options as far as what pitch he wants to throw.
Left field, Alex Gordon. Morales tags. Morales scores. Hunter holds it first. It's now a 6-3 game with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th.
And maybe 1-run game, Gordon takes a shot, but because of the fact is when you're playing with a 4-run lead, you want to make sure you keep that base runner at first base to keep the double play in order. If you're Kansas City, you want to take that chance of making a high throw, be safe at the plate, and allow Torrey Hunter to get in scoring position.
So sacrifice fly, second RBI of the game for Abreu. Now with one out, here's Vernon Wells. Wells an RBI ground out his last time up. Jonathan Broxton, the fourth Royals pitcher today. Kansas City took a 5-0 lead for Luke Hochevar. He allowed 2 earned runs in the 7th. It's now 6-3 Royals. Ground ball to the third baseman, Moustakis. Gets the out at second. Out to first, double play. So the Kansas City Royals, after getting shut out 5-0 in the season opener last night, come back in game 2 and defeat the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim 6-3.
Boy, the tone was set back in the top of the first inning, in which the Royals had 4 straight hits to establish a 2-0 lead. Luke Hochevar was outstanding after that, had the confidence going, taking a shutout into the 7th inning. And the Royals doing the little things, of course, home runs by Hosmer and Moustakis, along with some good defense.
And speaking of that defense, Mark, our Burger King smooth play of the game, bottom of the 8th. Bare hand scoop and throw by the Royals shortstop Escobar to retire Eric Ibar. So the Royals take game 2 of this series 6-3. Hochevar the win. Herron suffers the defeat. Home runs for Hosmer and Moustakis. Royals 6 runs on 12 hits, 1 error. Angels 3 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. For Mark Kubica, Kenny Albert saying so long from Angel Stadium in Anaheim. Stay with us. Coverage from the MLB Network coming up after these commercial messages. Royals win it 6-3.
Season opening series at 1 win apiece. And welcome those of you who just got through watching baseball out at Anaheim. The Kansas City Royals defeating the Los Angeles Angels. Royals and Angels each 1-1. Jared Weaver was the big story on opening day in Anaheim. Everybody was looking at Albert Pujols here on the first Saturday of the regular season. Albert came through. The Angels fall just short as a team.
Well, yeah, they actually, Danny Herron got off to a poor start today. You know, you're a little surprising to see him struggle because he had a good spring, threw the ball real well. But this is a nice Royals team. Give them some credit. These young guys can swing the bat. They're going to be around the Central all year long.
Yeah, and especially in that Central. You have a Central, it's not that deep anymore. I mean, the Twins are going to be struggling. The White Sox, we don't know exactly where they're at. The Indians, they finished off pretty rough. They had a nice start last year, but I think this Royals team, they can hit. They'll go up there and hit, and they got 15 hits and this hit and that hit, and you're like, who are these guys? And now you got a Hosmer who's, he's got it.
When Eric Hosmer and Mike Moustakis homer in the same game and the Royals win, that makes the Royals feel pretty good about what they've done in terms of drafting and developing. They think they're on the right track.
Well, they are. They've done a nice job of being able to go. They're going to have to do it through the draft. And when you have 2 kids come up like them and be productive at an early age, you know you're going to grow. Alex Gordon, he was a #1 pick out of Nebraska a few years back. He's matured into a big league player, and they even gave him an extension now. So they're starting to see dividends. But a club like the Kansas City Royals, you're not going to go out and compete in the free agent market. You have to do a good job in the draft.
Yeah, and I think the one doubt is obviously just their starting rotation. You know, is it there? Bruce Chen started opening day, did a great job, but is that the guy? I don't know, but they're a good ball club.
For the rest of what's happening around Major League Baseball on this first Saturday of the regular season, go to foxsports.com or check us out at MLB Network on MLB Tonight. First Saturday of the regular season is in the books, boys. How we do, 1-5?
I love it. Look at how pretty this is, man. You did
Tonight
great.
on Fox, catch an all-new episode of Cops in an encore presentation of Bones. For more information on today's game and the latest in Major League Baseball news, log on to foxsports.com.
Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid on Fox Soccer. Chelsea versus Barcelona on FX. UEFA Champions League semifinals this month.
It's a superstar showdown the AL has never seen before, as Pujols and the Angels take on A-Rod, Jeter, and the Yankees. Or the world champs battle their bitter rivals. Coverage begins with MLB Player Poll at a special time, followed by the new Fox MLB Saturday pregame show.
We are Fox Sports!
Over here, it's just the excitement. It's a little bit different from over there. Throughout the game, there's some different about, over here.
Hello, Dallas, Fort Worth. Let's talk sports. Yu Darvish talking about the opening day atmosphere yesterday compared to the ones back home in Japan. Darvish pitches on Monday against Ichiro and the Mariners. Meanwhile, the Rangers pick up their championship rings tonight for being the American League champions again. It'll help fans remember the good times of the postseason play. Texas has clinched the ALCS the last 2 years in a row. Here's a look at how the rings will look. Although it's not the World Series ring, the Rangers will take it.
I've just seen a picture of it. It looks fine to me. I don't really wear them very often. I haven't worn the last one at all. It's still in the case. I probably doubt that I'll be wearing this one. But, it's a pretty cool memento from last year. And I'm excited to get them tonight.
I haven't seen them. I had opportunity to maybe go peep, but I decided I'll wait till I get out there and get it. It's different than the one we got before, and that's all I needed to hear. So I'm satisfied with it, whatever it is.
The pitching matchup for tonight, the Rangers go with Derek Holland. He's now the #2 starter after putting up those very nice numbers in 2011. The White Sox counter with Jake Peavy. He's trying to bounce back from a disappointing season last year. Checking on the Rangers' West Coast rivals, the Angels hosting the Royals. First inning, former Rangers Jeff Francoeur's 2-run single gives KC an early 2-0 advantage. And then in the fifth, Eric Hosmer hits the solo shot off Dan Herring. Kansas City hands Los Angeles its first loss of the season. 6-3 is your final.
Aldridge puts it on the floor for the win. LaMarcus Aldridge wins it in Dallas.
You talk about taking the crowd out of the game. Seagoville's LaMarcus Aldridge hit the game winner at the buzzer. Dallas tries to bounce back from the Portland loss this evening in Memphis, where they'll go against the Grizzlies for playoff positioning. It's the second of back-to-back games for the Mavericks. Even though your Dallas Stars have been eliminated from the playoffs, they got to look at the future. At this morning's skate, head coach Glenn Gullickson brought up some youngsters from the organization, and that included Jamie Benn's older brother, Jordy, who wants to make the best of his second go-round in Dallas.
A dream come true being in the NHL, and I got a sniff this year, and we'll see what happens next year.
I talked to each of those young guys and about our expectations, and not to think too much. Obviously, they're going to be excited, and two of those guys, it's their first game, so it's going to be exciting for them.
To the Augusta National for round 3 of the Masters. Tiger Woods with a chance to go under par for the round on 18, but can't convert. Finished with an even par 72. Tiger is out of contention at 3 over. Meanwhile, Phil Mickelson making a big-time Saturday charge. Hits the eagle putt on number 13 to capture a share of the lead. And then on the par 5 15th, he executes the amazing flop shot to set up birdie. Lefty finished with a 6 under 66 today. He's 1 stroke behind leader Peter Hansen, heading into tomorrow's final round. And coming up on Sports Sunday tomorrow night at 10, final round of the Masters. Who wears the green jacket this year? The Rangers and White Sox wrap up their weekend series, and then the Yu Darvish countdown really gets underway. He pitches Monday. We'll talk one-on-one with TMS President Eddie Gossage about next week's big race. And Mike Ducey one-on-one with Carl Edwards. That's all and more for you tomorrow night at 10. I'm excited, Rich. I know you are. I know you're a big baseball fan. And we got Derek Holland going tonight. I say we as in Rangers.
Yes.
And, he had a big year, but now, Derek's the #2 starter. And he's not that number 4 starter where he got tremendous run support. So now he's going to have to pitch even better than he did last Saturday.
I'm excited about Monday night, too, because I'd like to talk him into a little plug here for the boss. Talk him into let me go out there and do something on Monday night when Darvish pitches.
Yeah, I don't blame you because the excitement's already started. In fact, I had a chance to get out there today, talk to fans, talk to the players, and Darvish held a news conference. So we'll have all that in the story tomorrow night at 10, Rich.
Picture perfect start yesterday. Thank you, Max. Stay right there. We'll be right back.